Hi there and welcome to Geek Out with Archer, with me, Archer. So today I am going to be geeking out about Voltron. Now I love Voltron, I think it's great. Except for maybe season 7. So before I go any further with this video, there will be spoilers for every season of Voltron up to and including the latest season, which is season 7. So just jumping back, before we start talking about season 7, I'm going to talk about season 6. Because season 6 of Voltron was my favourite season so far. I thought it was brilliant. The whole season was so good. There were no pointless filler episodes. Everything felt like it served a point and everything was so good. The characters I felt had some development. It had the episode The Black Paladins, which I will probably do a video about at some point in the future because it was such a brilliant episode. But before I start fangirling too much about season 6 in a video about season 7, but the point I'm trying to make here is I enjoyed season 6 so much that I was really looking forward to season 7. I was like, okay, they've accomplished this. Where are they going to go now? And the answer is not really anywhere. Now, I know season 7 got a lot of hate online afterwards. I don't hate it, I just don't think it was good. So when season 7 aired, I was so super excited and I binge watched the whole thing and I had to pause halfway through. Now, I've never done this with a season of Voltron when I've watched it. I've normally just marathon through the whole thing. I normally have a day just to watch Voltron because, yeah, I love the show. So I had concerns about season 7 when halfway through, not only did I find myself checking my phone instead of watching it, but that I then left it for a few hours. And I remember I was talking to people about it and I was like, I'm bored. I'm watching Voltron and I'm bored, and that has never happened before. And then I finished watching it and the last few episodes are brilliant and they're kind of on par with what we got back in season 6. But the first half of the season is bad. Genuinely, it's not entertaining. And I felt like it was a step down from what I'd come to expect from Voltron. So just to talk about some of the earlier episodes, the first episode I really enjoyed. I loved the flashbacks for Shiro and Keith. They're my two favourite characters, so to see them get like some more sort of fleshed out character and stuff and learn more about their background, I was really into that. And the side story of that, with the others getting shrunk, was the cute kind of comedy that I've come to expect from Voltron. And the whole episode flowed really well, it gelled really well, it kind of went with how the show is, and I really enjoyed the first episode, so it started off really promising. And then you get into the second episode when they've got like the road trip thing with the dynamics of who's travelling in which lion, and again, it was classic Voltron humour, to be honest, and I laughed a whole lot at that episode. And then it sort of goes downhill because then they get captured by part of Lotar's harem. I don't even remember half the names. Zethred is one, and I can't remember the other girl's name, who are now warlords, and it's at this point where you kind of realise that there's been a time skip at some point. I think as the audience we realised that before the Paladins, but I don't know, it was kind of Voltron, but there was just something very off about it. I didn't enjoy it as much as I would have probably enjoyed a similar episode in an earlier season. And this is where it really starts to go downhill for me. So is it Axa, the girl that they're all saying has a crush on Keith because they've spoken twice or something, who saves them and she's with them, and then she vanishes? Like, honestly, I don't actually know what happens to her. I think she stays to help the Voltron Coalition, or so. I genuinely, hand on heart, don't know what happens to her. I got to sort of, I think, later on in the series when the Paladins get to Earth, and I was suddenly like, wait, where the hell is she? And she just seemed to vanish, and I had to go back and rewatch it, and she says something, and it's literally a throwaway line about helping someone, or helping the Voltron Coalition or something, and I was like, are we supposed to infer from that she's gone off somewhere, because I genuinely didn't the first time I watched it. And yeah, this is when it starts to go down. And then we have the worst episode of Voltron ever, which is the game show episode. So every season seems to have this one episode that is just outright crazy and bonkers. And in season 6, it was the brilliantly done D&D episode, which was so funny and so good. And I felt served a purpose, because in season 6, Shiro had been complaining of headaches and just being stressed, and he said that playing this D&D game actually relaxed him and made him feel a little bit better. So it kind of tied in, it served a bit of a purpose. The game show thing doesn't. It's literally just played for laughs. I laughed, I will admit that, but more at the absurdity of it than the humour. Like seeing Lotor and Hagar and Zarkon, I was just like, that's funny, because they are a family, and that was genuinely funny, but I don't know, I just felt like a lot of the humour in that episode was really, really forced. And one of the great things Voltron has always done is get a really good balance of humour and action and emotions. And the humour in this was just okay, I guess, at best. At best, the humour in this episode that's supposed to be all about being funny was okay. And then it serves no purpose. And they are suddenly backing their lions and saying, hey, we were just on this weird game show. And Karan's like, oh, you met Bob, and he's this interdimensional being that judges people. Great, let's never talk about that again. Why? Why put that episode in? It slows the first half of the season is already pretty slow going, because it's, what they should have done, I think, is made it more of a road trip of the Paladins getting to Earth, but they don't. They make it very slow episodes, and then they throw this in, which I just felt was utterly pointless. But it wasn't the only pointless episode of this season, because then you get the weird space storm giant manta ray in space episode, which, this was the point that I started to get actually quite angry at the series. Because not only was the episode, this manta ray episode, I just thought bad, like really bad. I just didn't understand it. So they're in their lions with everybody else that they've got in there. There's a storm. For some reason the Paladins, but not Shiro, I guess he's not a Paladin now, but whatever, aren't affected, which they say, oh, maybe it was our Paladin armour. Oh, hey, Shiro in Paladin armour, but affected. And the lions lose all power and everyone else is frozen. Are you going to explain this series? Because I really hope you are, because it's not making much sense. So then they get out of their lions and try and tether them together. The storm comes back, the lions vanish, and they're stuck in space. What? So then they start to kind of band together, and we're supposed to, I guess, believe that they've been stuck out there for a few days, floating aimlessly in space. And my issue with this episode was I felt a lot of the characters were really out of character. Keith especially, like I said, Keith is one of my favourite characters, and in this episode I just felt like we'd gone back to almost season 1 Keith for no reason. He had such great character growth in season 6, and this episode takes him back to being this mardy, whiny kid that's angry all the time, and he's like starts slashing at stuff and yelling at Hunk and the others, and I was just like, you're the leader. And they know they can call the lions when the lions aren't there. They know the lions respond to them. But they don't try doing that. They're floating there for days and nobody thinks, hey, let's mentally call the lions. I genuinely just did not like that episode at all. And then we go to like the Earth episodes, where we have the 2 flashback episodes of the Galra fleet taking over Earth. I didn't like those 2 episodes either. I know that we got to see Pidge's dad more, which I guess was okay, but he's not a strong enough character to carry these episodes. I felt more could have been done with Shiro's ex, Adam, in these episodes. Like, he died, and that was like, okay, bye Adam, I mean, I didn't really want you in this series anyway, but bye, I guess. You were here and now you're not. This is the thing, these are 2 episodes. This is 40 minutes of Voltron with not a single character that I cared about. Not one. One of the characters I really hated in these episodes was Veronica, Lance's sister. She really annoyed me in these episodes. In the later episodes, when the Paladins are back, she's actually a really cool character. But if you'd asked me what I thought of her out of these 2 episodes, I would have hated her. And there's just a lot of things that don't make sense. Like, you have some resistance fighters, but they've got the kids with them. Like, no, surely the kids are somewhere safe. Like, I know aliens have invaded Earth, but if you're a resistance group, you put the kids somewhere safe with people to protect them. You don't carry them round with you. So the fact that the entirety of Lance's family was just there, including little tiny kids, just no. Just no. And like I said, there's just no characters in these 2 episodes that justified 40 minutes on the invasion of Earth. It was just an exposition dump, and that is exactly what it felt like. Whereas the first episode of the season gave us some background of Keith and Shiro, it was done well, and it didn't feel just like, hey, exposition, 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 exposition. This was just that. It was, hey, we're doing this. Oh look, it's the Galra, they're coming to attack us like Pidge's dad, whose name I can't remember, has told us. Oh no, what can we do? We won't listen to him for reasons, I guess, because the army always has to be the villain in these sort of things. Oh no, people are dead. I didn't give a damn. Honest to God. And I know that you've got the kind of new characters, so I think some people are kind of guessing they're probably going to be like the second wave of Paladins, sort of as the series ends, that were piloting those jets things. I couldn't name you one of them. I didn't care for any of them. I know some people are like, oh, they were amazing. It's like, no, they really weren't. They were just there, like furniture, kind of like every other character in those 2 episodes. And this is where the series picks up again. Once the Paladins are back, it picks up, and the last few episodes are really good. The fight scenes are really good. The battle between Shiro and Sendak was brilliant. And God, when it looked like Shiro was going to be killed, I was just like, come on, Keith. Come on, where are you in that Black Lion? Come on, when he showed up, I cheered. I was so happy. And when the Atlas turns into its own robot, I was like, Shiro's like the white paladin now. And yeah, the ending was really, really good. But that took a lot of getting to. This could quite easily have been one of the shorter seasons, and you'd have lost nothing. In fact, I think the pacing would have benefited from a shorter season. I don't know what they were trying to do, whether they were just trying to bloat it out with stuff. But yeah, the first half of this season is not good. And I'm genuinely hoping that they can fix that for season 8, because season 8 will be the final season. And I don't want the show to end with me thinking, that was okay. I want the show to end with how I felt after season 6, in which this is amazing, yes, I love this. Not, that was the thing. Please don't mess this up, I guess, please. So yeah, please do let me know your thoughts about Voltron season 7. Like I said, I know a lot of people really didn't like it. It was, like I said, it wasn't bad, it just wasn't good. And that is that's my thought on Voltron season 7. Not bad, but not wholly good either. If you have liked this video, please do like and subscribe. I am a new channel, so every subscriber makes a huge difference to me and makes me super duper happy. So bye guys, see you next time.